Austin, you've been playing Doom Eternal, which just came out last week.
Yes, I have.
The new game from Bethesda Publishing and id Software. They're back.
And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and bang that bell because we know you want to.
Tell me about it.
The game was delayed. It was supposed to come out last year. We were surprised.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, because I was like, they need a big hitter to come out that's not going to suck.
Yeah.
And they were actually planning on putting microtransactions in this, but the devs for this game were like, no, we're not doing that. Like, you're going to fuck this game in the community.
Yeah.
And it's good to see some people out there who understand and are willing to stand up. I mean, only this company could make this game. So if Bethesda stonewalled them, they just couldn't do that. They're at a point where they're just like, fuck, we can't do anything. Yeah. We have to let this game come out. Anyway, so synopsis is, Hell's armies have invaded Earth, become the Slayer, an epic single-player campaign to conquer demons across dimensions and stop the final destruction of humanity. The only thing they fear is you, and that is true because you're a badass. And this game makes you feel like a badass. So you end up in a ship. The world's going to hell, literally. And you use this portal. I didn't finish the last game. I was really close, but I never finished it. So maybe this ties into why you're in a spaceship. You use this portal in the spaceship to go to Earth, and you start battling all the enemies and stuff. And it's they're really cool. They're interesting. They're somewhat similar to the last game. But the way that you get ammo, I guess it's kind of the same to some degree. I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I played the last one. But you do different, like if you punch someone in the melee, you can get health back. If you light some people on fire, they'll throw out armor slowly over time. Or if you kill them while they're on fire, they'll throw out a bunch of armor. And if you use your chainsaw to cut somebody, they'll throw out a bunch of ammo, or different ammo types. So the whole point of the game is to just be this fluid, running around, jumping up, doing cool moves, cutting people in half, and then just consistent chaos as you run around this map and take damage. And the one thing that really got me fucked up early on was there's no reloading. You just fire. And I kept trying to reload, and the reload button on the PC was for my flamethrower, so I always just waste my flamethrower, and I was like, oh my gosh.
No.
So like literally for 2 hours, I just couldn't get that down. But the graphics are amazing, the gameplay is super smooth, the animations are super clean. Like this game is polished to the brim, man. Like you couldn't ask for a more smooth experience in a game of this fast-paced, high-action caliber. So yeah, if you love Doom, you're going to love this game. Like, and apparently the story is pretty good because it's showing like where the Doom guy came from, apparently, which I haven't got that far.
When it covers like so much, like I remember when they were showing videos and stuff like that, it was interesting to see that this wasn't just like in hell. Like there was a bunch of different varieties of places that don't look like they were just blood and guts and ooze everywhere, which I thought was kind of cool to see for the first time in a Doom game.
Right. No, you're right. I like it. I mean, the story, they have some interesting story tidbits, and the ones that the early gameplay and story bits they released seem really awesome. And I was like, oh, this looks really exciting, especially that one where he's walking on the spaceship and everyone's freaking out. All the scientists are freaking out, and he like gets that card and opens the door, and you're just like, yeah, I'm a badass. But it's really cool, and I was like, this looks really cool. I mean, if you want to feel like a badass, this is what this game's all about. So like, gotta jump into it.
I've never really played a lot of Doom. I know we have like a Doom poster in our office and stuff, and I appreciate like what the game is, but I've never gotten into a Doom game. Like I've played the OG Doom, I played Doom 64, I played the
Doom 3,
Doom 3, I think. I played that a little bit. I played a little bit of Doom 2016. Like, I have not liked any of the Dooms. Like, I just haven't wanted to play them. But I totally appreciate everything about what it is, and there's an audience out there that just like eats it up. And it's just weird for me. It's not my cup of tea. But I want to like it. I just can't.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, surprisingly, I did like the last one.
Yeah,
and I
'cause you
would
almost
have
finished
beat
it.
it.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I almost beat it, and then obviously games come out, so you take a break off of that one, you try to come back, and it's just not the same.
So hard, yeah.
Yeah, I just lost interest in it, which sucks because it was a really good game. Actually tried to go back and play it, and it seems a little dated now. Still very highly polished for that game, which they've brought into this game. But what's sad is I've only put 2 hours in this game, and I've already got a refund for it. This is not my kind of game. What really struck me as a negative was they're teaching you different stuff along the way, right?
Yeah.
But in the 2 hours, they were still like introducing new mechanics and new things to do, and go find these keys to unlock these mini arena challenge areas that you can complete. And it's like, okay, so you can go find that, and then it's like obviously there's like hidden stuff around, which is not a big deal, but that do like cool things that like flashbacks to like I found, I think it was a heart and like a game canister, like 16 bits just floating in the world. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And I forgot what that guy gave me, but that was like some unlock. And then if you go back to the ship, there's like 20 different things on the ship that you could do to like upgrade your character in so many different ways. And I was like, what? Like, I just don't like this. Like, it's just supposed to be a game. I go in there, I can get some cool moves, and I fuck everything up. Like, there should be no more thinking other than that. And here they have you, like, go get this or go complete this. And then, if you get tokens, you can come back and trade them in for, upgrades on this. I was like, why is it, like, it's kind of RPG in a way, but it's not. And that's just not the game I wanted to play. I wanted to go into this and just be dead mind, just on autopilot, kill everything.
Yeah.
And it was just too much for me. I was like, I couldn't even remember half the stuff that it was telling me, nor did I care. And I was like, okay, done. I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was like the initial feeling. And it sounds like they were slower with it, with the actual game itself. But remember when we played it at QuakeCon, like they threw you into all these different gameplay mechanics like in 5 minutes and then said, all right, go. And I'm like, I don't remember half this stuff. And like you said, the controls were the things that you're used to pressing for certain functions aren't the same functions.
Right.
So I did that when I was playing it too. I was like shooting the flamethrower, shooting something that I wasn't supposed to shoot because I was trying to reload. And the fact that every gun, I think every gun has a different drop that it pulls from an enemy. So you have to make sure you have a certain weapon out, I believe. Does that sound accurate? Like, each weapon like has the enemy drop different stuff if you kill them with it.
Yeah.
So like if you want to get health, you have to have like a shot. I remember what the gun associations are.
If you want health, you have to do a physical like takedown,
a melee.
Yeah.
And then what is a shotgun? The shotgun I think gives you something, doesn't it?
No, if you kill them, I don't know. I don't think they drop anything.
But yeah, everything you have to do
then.
something different to get a certain type of thing. I was like you said, like that was too much thinking for me to like. I don't come to Doom for overly thinking about stuff. I just want to come in there and feel like a badass and blow shit up. Like that's what the game is all about. And I think all these games right now are, I guess we're getting old. I don't know what it is, but like I struggle with the majority of games that are out there now because there's just too much of everything.
Yep.
Too much stuff that they throw at you to do and progress and to learn. And I'm like, what happened to the days where like a game was just a fun game? Right. And you just like go in there and do the thing that you're supposed to do, and they got the mechanics down right. I don't want all these upgradable things. Like I don't want all this nonsense and mayhem. Like I play games to relax and take my mind off of like daily work stuff. I don't want to have to work to play this game.
Like I like how Halo 1 had things set up, and Halo 2. It's like do a bunch of stuff, or like beat the hardest difficulty. And you unlock difficulty skulls that like just change the gameplay. So like you play through it, you have fun, and if you want to play through it again and make some things different to make it new and interesting, you had to go unlock those, but it wasn't.
They were simple.
Yeah,
like,
it was very
there was
simple.
Just a couple of them, right?
Yeah. Oh well, there was like 12 or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It wasn't just
Still
a handful.
Not bad,
but
yeah.
I mean, you didn't need all of them too. Like you didn't want all of them. I mean, but it was something to strive for if you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But maybe this was left over from Bethesda wanting to add microtransactions in here, and that was part of the thing. And then all this was just left in there after the fact?
I don't know. I was listening to IGN Unfiltered, and they interviewed Hugo Martin and Marty. I forgot his last name, but
Yeah.
Hugo obviously is the game director, and Marty is the producer of this game. And they were talking about the relationship with Bethesda. And granted, they're on a podcast talking about their game with Bethesda, or basically they give them the money. But they were saying that Bethesda is really a really good partner for them. And they said that had it not been for Bethesda, id Software may not really be who they are today. Because you remember, like, there was a time where they were working on, they brought out Doom. They were going to bring out Doom 4, I believe, and it never came out because I think it got shut down or something messed up. Bethesda brought them in, and then at the time they had been working on Rage, but they were working on too many games. So they're working on Rage plus Doom 4 at the same time, and that's when Rage came out, which to them was a good game. And I thought it was still a good game. It just didn't hit the light of day back then. But then it was like 11 years before they ever brought out another game as an id Software studio game until Doom 2016 came out. And the whole reason that was allowed and able to happen was because Bethesda like took them under their wing and was like supporting the studio through that time, and then gave them the opportunity and the legs to like reboot Doom and make it what it is now. But so I thought that was pretty wild. But yeah, the microtransaction thing, I'm wondering like if they were ever pushing towards that in some capacity. Because I mean, I know that they just want to make games that they want to make. That's what they were talking about over and over again. Was like, we don't want to do what other people are doing. We just want to make games that we really like to play and think are fun and do cool stuff. And this game was meant to be kind of like just an evolution of what Doom had already like set down forth. But it sounds like they just took it too far and did too much with it. Like, I mean, is that the main thing that you feel is a concern for you with Doom, this Doom versus Doom 2016? Is that there's just now too many things that you have to think about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was just such a turnoff and unexpected that I was just like, oh, yeah, can't do it. And another thing, like, what's is cool is that, you know, each gun has like 3 upgrades or attachments that you can put onto it.
Okay.
So you have to, and then there's this one, I forgot the name of this guy, but there's this one floaty guy, right? Mm-hmm. He's a big ball, floats around, and I think he lunges at you to attack you. But if you throw a grenade with you eventually get a grenade, or I guess you always have it. No, you eventually get a grenade launcher, like where your flamethrower comes out. So you can switch to that to throw into his mouth, and it will explode, and he will be stunned, which allows you to go up there and finish him, right? Yeah. But you also can have your shotgun can turn into a missile launcher, so you can shoot one of your missiles into the guy's mouth if you don't have your grenade. So it's kind of this thing because you start off with a shotgun and a machine gun. And having to each of those have attachments, and then by the time I got 2 hours into the game, each of those things had 2 attachments. So it's like, what do I want to use here? It's just so complicated. I felt like it's cool that my shotgun can be an automatic shotgun, so basically like a minigun almost, or a rocket launcher, or just a shotgun. And I was like, this is just very complicated, and especially with those guys coming at, like, everyone's coming at you in these, mini arenas from all directions. And it's like, well, what am I going to use? Because if I don't do this, I'm about to run out of ammo, but I need to get health, but I'm out of shield. But it's just a lot of combinations. And that's why I'm like, if you really like Doom and like this style of gameplay, like, you're going to love this game. And I think this game will be a cult classic. But I've already heard people on YouTube, they're just not huge fans of this game.
So I'm reading through comments on here, and it's like, I mean, it's reviewing super, super well. It's got a 9 out of 10, or I mean, it's overwhelmingly positive on Steam. It's got a 90% on Metacritic, so it's like, people love it, and people are saying it's like great. But this one commenter here, December Man, put something in here that I think will probably resonate with you, because he said he's been a fan of the Doom series for the last 25 years. He loved Doom 2016. He wanted this game to succeed. He was overjoyed, blah, blah, blah. But he's very, very he's very disappointed with this game. And he says, great music, great level design, good weapons, all that stuff. But he's like, one of the things. So this is one of the concerns I have about the game that I've been hearing a lot. Is it sounds like it's an FPS game that's also heavily a puzzle game. But he says there's like overly excessive platforming in here. And then the combat loop of like, why did they add dashes? They have a super powerful blood punch that's nerfed the regular punch. It does blah, 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 blah. There's an ice bomb that's cool, frag grenade, but chainsaw is required to spam. Anyway, he basically said that there's now 6 cooldowns you have to manage as if it's an MMO, whereas Doom 2016 only have 1, since all the items shared a cooldown. Now, the game is summed up with 1, shoot at non-cannon fodder enemies, demons, run out of ammo after a minute, run around looking for cannon fodder enemies which die to a strong fart, set them on fire, freeze them, if you get damaged badly, skip to step 3, rinse and repeat. And yeah.
That's about right. Yep.
Yeah. So it just sounds like there's a lot more to think about as you're progressing through the game that just makes it like more a puzzle game than it does a FPS almost.
Yeah,
like, how do you run through these levels and make it happen?
Yeah.
Anyway, well, that sucks. I'm sorry.
So for me, it is not a buy. It is a ditch. But again, if you like any of what I said before, you'll probably like it. If you like Doom, well, I would say that, but I guess this guy didn't like it. He's been a fan for Doom for 25 years.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just, maybe we're just getting to be old, man. I mean, we are older, but it's like, there's just things that we want now that games are starting to go this direction that makes me nervous that, and I love indie games too, but like all the indie games, like a lot of them are just like puzzle platformers, and there aren't any that are like doomed eternal FPS craziness. And I want the good graphics. I want all the spectacle, but I also like, I guess what I kind of want, and this is weird to say, is like, I kind of want a Michael Bay film where it's just like a bunch of stupid explosions and craziness, but not a lot of thinking involved. And that's basically what a Michael Bay film is, like rinse and repeat. And it's just like that same idea. I want that in a video game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like we say we're getting old, but these guys making these games are just as old as us, if not older.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like either they're being manipulated, or not, I don't want to say manipulated. Either they think this is the way to go, and they're just doing it that way, or this is how the game industry is progressing. Like everyone agrees that this is something interesting.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too, because I mean, they said, I mean, this still is kind of different though. I mean, like the having to kill people to get weapon drops and stuff like that. Like there's definitely a lot more challenge here, whereas all the other games have gone down this path of making the game as accessible to you as possible, where like you have regenerative health, you have like, you know, unlimited ammunition in some games, like weapon stashes and crates and stuff everywhere. This goes the opposite direction, where it's really, really freaking hard to replenish that stuff, and you have to constantly move, and you can't take a break, blah blah blah. Like I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's different here, but
yeah,
when they were talking about it, they were just like, this is who we are. This is what we want to build. This is how we're going to do it. Like, we're not going to go the Fortnite route. We're not going to go this route or whatever. We just want to do this kind of game. Mm-hmm. And they said that, like, the guy, Hugo, he's got a couple kids, and his kids don't play this game. They don't like it. And his kids' friends don't really care about Doom. So it's like, it is kind of, I don't know. It's odd that they're, I don't know. I mean, there's obviously a clear audience for this, but I'm wondering if like 10 years from now, if Doom's still going to, I mean, there's no question that Doom has created like something that has never been done before. I mean, it like started a whole new genre of video games, but I wonder if in 10 years we'll still be wanting Doom and playing Doom, or if it will evolve to the point where that's not the kind of game that we're wanting anymore.
Right. I agree. I don't know. But it's very positive on Steam, so we deny that.
Yep. People love it. So, I mean, if you like I said, if you like Doom, get it. If you don't like Doom, probably not a game to jump into.